Ah, yes, the fruits of our labor. Anyways, the old coot here coming back at you with another exciting video. So this is my two octopus that I cooked in the videos prior. I just couldn't wait till tomorrow. I had to make an octopus salad because that's usually what I like to do. But anyways, this was in the fridge for about, I'd say about a few hours, just chilling out, kind of cooling down, letting all this octopus come back together, you know, the way it should be. But if you check out the videos prior to this one, you'll see how we got to this point. Some people will clean the outside of the skin of the octopus. I like to leave it on there. That's honestly where most of your flavor is. Like 99% or 90% of the flavor of the octopus is coming from that skin. So the more that's on there, the better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a traditional octopus salad. The only thing I'm missing is celery. And I didn't feel like running to the market to go get celery. But in place of celery, I'm just going to add a little more red onion or onion. You could use any kind of onion you want. But the basic ingredients are the octopus itself. You could either use the head, the body, or the tentacles, or a combination of all of those, which is what I'm going to do here. I've got some flat leaf Italian parsley. I've got about 2 cloves of garlic. I like mine a little extra garlicky. If you don't want to use that much, you don't have to. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice into the octopus salad when it's all said and done. I would say maybe the equivalent of like a half a teaspoon or something like that. But wash your lemons, right? If you can zest them, you'll get a little bit more lemony flavor when you make your octopus salad. You kind of get the idea. So let's just get started here. And then I've got some black pepper, which I'm going to grind fresh. And then I've got some pink Himalayan salt. You can use any kind of salt, makes no difference. Or you could use kosher salt, even that's totally fine. And then this is when you want to break out the good olive oil. So try to use the good olive oil because you're not cooking with this, right? You're just basically using the olive oil to kind of help carry the flavors through, and you kind of get the idea. So anyways, let's get started. I usually like to do the sauce and the ingredients first, and then I put the octopus in last. So starting off, I'm just going to take my lemon right here and just squeeze it into the bowl. And like I said, what I'm really looking for here is about like a half a teaspoon or so, you know, something like that. You don't want to overpower your dressing with too much acid or too much lemon. And then what I'll do is I've got my flat leaf parsley here, a couple sprigs. I like using the stalks and the leaves both because you get a little bit of crunch factor, a little more texture, you know, lots of different textures going on. You kind of get the idea. Try to use a good knife if you can. This happens to be a 12-inch Victorinox. I have links to this down below in the description, also in the comment section, also on my Amazon storefront, so make sure to check that out. But I'm just going to give it like a quick roll and just a quick little choppy chop here. Let's see if I can do this without shaking the camera too much. But yeah, you kind of want just like a little choppity chop. You know, it's okay if you have some extra stems in there, longer pieces, shorter pieces. Honestly, this is rustic cooking, Sicilian rustic cooking at its finest. So who cares, right? Who cares? We're not trying to win any competitions with this. Okay, so my parsley goes in, right? Just enough there. I would say loose, that was about maybe like a half a tablespoon or something like that. Here comes my garlic. Quick trick I like to do every time is just take the flat part of your knife closer to the spine area, right? Which is this area back here. Basically press and boom, just give it a good pound. Now you flattened it out. And then now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in and just kind of finely give it a good little chop here. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Again, using the spine of the knife, I'm just gonna give it a quick boom, flatten it out a little bit, crack it open, then just give it another little chop. Right, and then make sure you wipe. What I try not to do is I try not to scrape the board with the sharp edge of the blade because that just makes it dull out even faster. What you can do is kind of use it like this and just push your food into there and then go into your serving bowl or whatever, your mixing bowl, whatever you want to do. So red onion, you don't have to use all this. You can probably use about half of this, should be fine for now. What I'm going to do is just kind of go in there and just kind of give it a little slice and dice. Like I said, it's good once in a while to kind of bite into a little piece of like raw red onion or raw onion. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. Like I said, I'm missing celery, so I'm putting in a little more onion than usual. But I kind of like the heat. I like the fire. If you're not a fan of onion, or raw onion, I should say, you don't have to do this part of the process. This is just building the flavor. So what I want to do is come back in again. Boom. Drop that in. There we go. Okay. So I've got this out of the way. So now here comes the star of the show, right? We're going to do our octopus. I like to use the tentacle. Oh my God, I love the tentacles, love the body. But whatever you want to use, if you want to use the body, you want to use the head only, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I just kind of go in there, just kind of give it like a little rough chop. No rhyme or reason to this. What you can do once you get closer to like the thicker part of the tentacles is just kind of, now you can kind of finesse your chops if you want. Literally, guitar players love that word. But yeah, you just want to kind of finesse your chops a little to kind of make them a little more thinner so that the pieces are a little bit smaller. And obviously the smaller you go, you know, be careful here. What I'm doing, by the way, I've shown this in other videos, is as I'm chopping, I'm basically curling, right? I'm curling my fingers so that I'm not cutting my fingertips. Does that make sense? So the knife's actually riding on my knuckles, not on, you know, not on the fingertips themselves. So that was a really good fine chop. You know, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do this again. Get that in there. Same thing. I've got another tentacle here. So I'm just going to go, again, try to go as fine as I can. Sometimes there's some overlap, whatever, but you're fine. See, I'm not even touching the blade right there. The knife's doing all the work. Like I said, the finer you chop this or cut this, right? Look at how thin those pieces are. The more tender it's going to be. By the way, we were talking about tender in the other video, and as you can see, I can literally just push this apart with 2 fingers, and like, again, just barely pushing it, boom, it's going to fall apart. So that's what you want. That's how you know that you did it right, that you cooked your octopus correctly. You know, this is the payoff. This is the reward, right? This is where you kind of, you know, see the fruits of your labor and all that good stuff. So like I said, some people will dunk this in cold water and rub off the skin. That's where all the flavor is. So there goes all of your labor out the door. But I like to leave the skin on because that's where the flavor is. This is the head, by the way, the head of the octopus. So what I like to do is just kind of like cut it in half, right? You're basically trying to get like a flat surface almost, so that now you can get in there and just start finely slicing and dicing. And if these pieces are too long, you can always cut it again to make even shorter, smaller pieces, you know. But remember, we're trying to eat this with a fork, not with a spoon. So keep that in mind, right? But if you want to eat it with a spoon, you know, more power to you. If you want to go really, really fine, really, really small, if you want to do like one of those like single bite, you know, spoon kind of things, then yeah, cut it as fine as you want. But I would say that's a good, you know, maybe a little bit less than a quarter of an inch or about a quarter of an inch thick slice. So this is going to go into the party. There we go. And then here you go with this one. Again, just try to keep it, you know, thin and nice, all that good stuff. And as you get closer to the end, you know, just be careful, kind of work within your limits. You know, it's not a speed contest. It's not a race. We're not on a competition show yet. Maybe soon, someday, but anyways, you kind of get the idea. So there's that. I'm just going to give myself a quick little like hand wipe here with some paper towels. Paper towels are your friend in the kitchen, by the way. Just saying. Okay, so there we go. So now what I'm going to do is just give it like a couple cracks of black pepper. Maybe a little. There you go. And then in terms of salt, I would say like I do it by hand. You know, obviously some of the secrets of these chefs is that they have been doing this over and over and over again, and they kind of have like a way of doing it. I would say I pinched about maybe 1/8 to like a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to barely salt it. Right, a little bit too much there, but that's fine. And then now what I want to do is I want to just give it like a quick little toss. Let me grab a fork. Stick a fork in me because I'm done. Okay, there we go. So here's my octopus, and I haven't put the oil in yet. This is a trick that a lot of, you know, Sicilians do, is first put the salt in, and first put the acid in, I should say, then put your salt in, and then put your oil in. And the reason for that is because you want the acid or the acidity of the lemon in this case to kind of get into the meaty part of the octopus before you put the oil on. If you put the oil in now, what happens is the oil coats it and the lemon never gets a chance to get in there. So very important to kind of just, you know, put your dressing on first without the olive oil. So I would say that's pretty good. And then now what I want to do is I just want to come back in and just a quick drizzle with the olive oil. Like I said, try to use the good stuff because you want to taste that olive oil. You want to taste the freshness of the lemon. You want to taste the freshness of the seafood. Obviously, in this case, the octopus. This holds true with any other kind of seafood. If you happen to find like a seafood medley at the market or whatever, and you want to do this cold seafood salad, the same way, or you want to add to it, you want to add maybe some squid or shrimp or scallops or whatever, same basic principle. Thaw it out in the fridge. Make sure that from the frozen section at the market, you know, if you buy fresh, even better. But if you are buying like a frozen seafood medley kind of a thing, just thaw it out in the fridge. Usually I'll put it in like a colander so that all the water can come out of it. Let it thaw out in the fridge. Usually it takes about a day or two. And then go ahead and cook it the same way that I cooked the octopus. Remember, go back in those videos. You'll see how we did all that. I would say this is damn near perfect, right? This is a damn near perfect octopus salad. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple pieces, take a little bite right here. Let's see how that tastes. Absolutely friggin' amazing. Maybe just a little pinch more salt. Just a touch. Oh my God. And maybe just a touch more lemon. But man, that is so good. Probably one of the best octopi I've made in a long time, because I haven't made octopus in so long. It's been hard to find, especially like a good size one. There was a question that came up on another video, you know, what's the average size octopus? I'd say anywhere between 2 to 4 pounds at most grocery stores is about right. That makes all of the seasoning in the previous videos, you know, kind of pan out. If you're going to be buying this massive octopus that's bigger than 4 pounds, you might want to adjust, you know, increase the salt that's in the water and increase the vinegar. We used vinegar to boil it, you know, that kind of stuff. You might want to adjust. And then obviously if you're doing squid, just go by weight. You know, if you're buying like, let's say 3 pounds of squid and you're going to make a seafood salad like this with the squid tentacles and the squid body parts, literally, then you're good. Then you're golden. You know, half a tablespoon of vinegar in the water, put your squid in, bring it up to temperature to simmer. Basically then cook it for about 20 minutes or so. Squid might be a little more finicky. You might have to cook it for less time, but then shut off the heat after 20, 25 minutes or so and just let it sit in there for an hour. Let it kind of settle back down to room temperature, as close to it as you can. And then basically repeat the whole process. So you would take it out of the water, you would put it in the fridge, you know, drain it, put it in the fridge, let it chill out so that it gets back to, you know, a colder temperature. Bring it out, cut it up, boom, and then there you go. And then there would be your squid addition to your seafood salad. But oh my God, I am going to enjoy every last bite of this. Remember, it should be eaten with a fork, not with a spoon. So if you have a little bit of texture in there, it's great. What I'm missing is the celery, and I definitely missed that celery. But that is absolutely amazing. If you put this back in the fridge and let this sit for about an hour, even better. Even better. Anyways, hope you liked this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down there below. I will put links to a lot of the products that you see in these videos on my storefront, also in the comments and the description section. Hit that like button if you like what you're seeing. If you're a Sicilian, definitely hit that like button. I'm the Old Coot, and I'll catch you all in the next exciting video.